My son Jalen, he was 7 years old, and he was molested by an 18-year-old. February the 18th of this year, 2016, I received a phone call about my son, my middle son. His name is Jalen. The phone call was one that everybody really dreads, like any parent would dread this. The phone call I received was from my worker. She said something had happened to one of my children that was in placement, but she said she wasn't at liberty to say what actually happened. So when she actually told me she wasn't at liberty, and I had to actually find out the following day what actually happened to my child. The next day I had to go to a meeting to sit down with the DHS representatives and about my case and about my children. And for a whole hour we sat there and we talked about everything on my case. And when it got to the end of the meeting and I really wanted to know what happened to one of my children, they didn't tell me which child that got hurt until somebody revealed it while we were in the room. And then the child advocate proceeded to tell me that my child was sexually assaulted by another child that was 18 years of age. So, they said it with no kind of remorse. Like, it wasn't anything like my child was like a statue, and they just had no remorse of it, like front for it, like a human life. Like, they just said it like he was nothing. And they looked at me and they just sat there and they was like, do you have any other questions? I asked them, can I get a copy of my son's report? They didn't want to give it to me. They didn't want to give me a lot of things that happened as far as with, my child. And he's still mentally suffering from this. He really thinks that it's something that he did wrong. And these people are making him feel like he is the worst person in the world and he's only a child. And I don't think and I don't feel in my heart that my son should be treated like this at all. Like, nobody's child should be treated this way. They're saying that he's been going to therapy and things of that nature. But he can go to therapy. That's good and dandy. But later on down the line, when something like really happens to him, or, he has a type of like breakout or anything, what's going to happen? That's how I look at it. Like, what's going to really happen? He's going to go right back in the system because of something that happened to him in the system. It's like a repetitive circle. Like, that's how I really look at it. So, right now, me and him as mother and son is really just trying to like deal with this. And not only that, it's been like days after these things have been going on, we've been being harassed. We have people coming to our home, knocking on our door, saying different things, leaving letters, calling, emailing me, texting me, sending all these crazy things, just saying anything and everything they can do to scare me and my family away from trying to get my kids. This hurt is like, I'm sorry, I'm cursing. This was really like something I wouldn't have pictured anybody having to go through. Like something that you gave birth to, you took care of, you loved, and here is somebody telling you, you can't love him. We can, but you can't. With everything that's actually going on with me and my family, I feel like my children were snatched from me for no apparent reason. I'm really angry. I'm tormented because of it. Right now, I'm mentally beaten. Like, I feel like I'm mentally abused. I've been mentally abused. I've been wronged. I've been tore down, and I felt like the law was the way to go. Like, the law would choose the right thing, but not necessarily always ends that way. So, I mean, me, as of now, I'm not going to sit here and hold the anger, and I'm going to try to do what I can do to fight back to get my kids. But as of now, I feel like we were done wrong. Like, I feel tormented right now. I really do. I feel like this is my fault. And I shouldn't have to feel that way. And neither should my children. And I'm quite sure after a while, my children will have resentment. And they're going to feel like they can't trust anybody in the system, as far as police officers, anybody at a hospital. Like, they're going to have their insight that they're not going to be able to trust the people that they're supposed to trust. The things that I actually would recommend, as far as what to make sure these children are being kept safe, if they do have to keep them and take them and place them. I recommend that if they're taking children and placing them in homes, that it should be recommended that the kids should be with age appropriate children, like children their age. I also recommend that them being in a home with foster parents they don't know, it would be best if they actually do background checks. They claim they do. I really don't think that really goes on like it's supposed to. So I think they should reach a little deeper to do more of a background check on a foster parents. Also, I think that if any child that comes into play with foster care that has a disability, and I think that DHS should know about this immediately, because they need to know about their child. Like, if the child has any health issues, if they are disabled, they really need to, look into that more. And I also recommend that as far as with parents, also, parents that are disabled, because in that community, we're looked down upon like crap. But parents that are also disabled, I think that DHS and the government should reach out more to those parents, even though they're still trying to get their children back, which is true. But I think they should reach out more and have a broader network as far as transportation for courts and classes, or everything they need to do to, acquire everything so that they can actually retrieve their child and be reunified with their children. And I also recommend that if DHS think that it's, time for them to take children and place them, don't do the surprise method where, they just tell you to come here and then they'll just take your kids and you'll be surprised, and that's shock. I really believe that they should actually alert the parents of what's going on. They should explain to them, why are they taking the kids and placing them? What is this going on for? What is happening? Where are they going to be at? Because you have all these questions that's unanswered, and some of these workers don't even want to give it to you, but you have to know as a parent. That's what I would recommend the workers actually start letting these parents know, that this is going to happen and what is it that can be done next. I've been trying to get a copy of the report of my son's reported abuse, and I understand it is a report, but now I'm being told that they don't have a report at all. They don't have a copy of it. They can't find it. So I'm really trying to actually figure out what's going on as far as that. So, I've been calling the right people, but it seems like nobody's actually getting back to me about that now. And that's a very serious issue. It was serious enough when they took the kids, but then it was this serious where I need that paperwork for my son. So they're not trying to cooperate with me as much as I've been cooperative with them. I would not really wish this on anybody as a parent, because this is a struggle. It's basically it's already bad enough that it's a struggle when you're raising your children. But it's also a struggle when you having to deal with people that like really don't want to release your kids to you, and also raising them at the same time. It's hard. So I mean, for any mother out there that's like really going through this, and the recommendations I would actually give to anybody about these type of events is stay calm as you can when anything is going on with your children. Like getting mad, getting angry, and just fussing about and all that other stuff, that's not going to really help you at all. And I know it's a lot of people that say they couldn't be calm in that situation, but you have to be calm. You really, really do. Patience is key, like in this whole entire circle of things. Like patience is really key. That quick.